your wife, Justine, is a very prominent YA author also.
Yeah, and she has a book coming out right now called Liar, actually. It's a really interesting departure for her. It's non-fantastical. It's set in the real world here in New York.
Usually we're used to magic from her.
Yes,
all
it's true.
sorts of witches and forests and fun stuff.
It's true, and this has some of that not magic, but it has a kind of a deviousness to it. It's called Liar because the main character is someone who has always been a liar. You know, one of those kids who's just always not told the truth, sometimes for profit and sometimes just for fun. And it, you know, sort of hates the feeling of getting caught out, but also likes the feeling of before she gets caught. So she starts off the book by telling you, you know, dear reader, I am never going to lie again. You know, I'm going to tell it to you straight. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. And it's a really interesting process of the unreliable narrator slowly unwinding and like every couple of chapters saying, okay, I've been doing pretty good. And I've told you mostly the truth, but there's one thing that I messed up on. And then one pin gets pulled out of your confidence in them as a narrator, and everything flips upside down every sort of 3 or 4 chapters, until you're left mad.
Mad, I say.
But it's, you know, it's a little experiment in the unreliable narrator, and it's really kind of wonderful if you like that kind of shaky ground.
Are you, so obviously you're a very big fan of your wife, and I'm assuming she's a big fan of yours. What is that like to really, I can just imagine both of you at your laptop side by side typing away, switching so each other can read each other's work. Is that how it works? Like, tell me a day in the life of a family of the Westerfelds.
The Larbalestiers.
Oh, the Larbalestiers, excuse me.
Because Justine Larbalestier is her name, so I didn't want to make you have to pronounce Larbalestier. So we do write in the same room quite a bit. We don't actually show each other work. What we do is we read it out loud, because there's something it's much safer to get to read something to someone, because they can't tell you that the commas are wrong, and they can't tell you that the paragraphs are wrong, because they're not hearing all those things. And you also get the advantage of hearing your work out loud. I mean, reading your work out loud is great, even if there's no one there. But, and the other thing I like about it is that writing is a kind of fundamentally lonely profession, and it's a profession where the response lag is incredibly long. Like, you take a year to write a book, you give it to a publisher, they mess around with it for a year, and then it lands on the shelves, and then like a month later, you get some sort of response out of reviews or blogs or whatever. And that's a long time to wait for a response. I don't think anybody would be a high diver if you had to get out of the water and then stand there for 2 years before anybody applauded your high dive or even held up an 8 or a 9. So it's like, it's really great to have to be writing something and to get a response every few days, and to hear somebody laugh at a joke, or sniffle when it gets sad, or say, oh my gosh, when something crazy happens. So I really like that. I mean, I understand why Dickens wrote so much, because he was getting immediate response. It was being serialized, and people were, yelling up at boats that came from England to the United States, what news of Little Nell? Because they just wanted to know if Little Nell was going to die or not. So there's that lovely sense that, that somebody's reading along over your shoulder and coming alongside with you, which is nice. And it also means that, when you have plot problems to work out, there's somebody who's already read it. You don't have to explain the last 200 pages to have them hash something through with you. So, Justine and I really enjoy working alongside each other, even though we've never collaborated.
Is that something that you could see in the future?
Yeah, people ask us. No, I don't think so.
Just for the marriage's sake, you want to kind of keep
We're
that.
saving that for our middle years, I think.